5-win seasons under Matt Rule. This will be Scott Fitterer's second offseason as Panthers GM. What to do in 2022. Their notable list of free agents upcoming. There you see Cam Newton among them. Hassan Reddick, who had a monster year with the Cardinals, cashed in there in Carolina. Stephon Gilmore, a former Defensive Player of the Year. For more on the Panthers, we welcome back Greg Rosenthal and Mike Giardi. Will anybody want to weigh in on any fashion here before we get going?
I mean, Mike's going to tweet it out, you know. Come on.
Well, Mike, we'll start with you.
Okay,
let's address, the elephant in the room here at quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater was there the first year, Matt Rule there. We talked about Cam and Sam last year. Where do they go from here in 2022?
Well, they've taken swings at the position, right, trying to find the guy, and it just has not worked. Last year, they start 3 different players, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton, and P.J. Walker. None of those quarterbacks completed over 59% of their passes. The other problem for them, sacks, 52. Now, that's not all on the offensive line, but certainly they didn't do a very good job in front of the quarterbacks, making them feel comfortable. So that's an area of need for this team. They have some money. There are free agents. Once again, you got to go big game hunting if you're Carolina and you can't find that quarterback, someone like Deshaun Watson, who we mentioned a segment ago. If you can't find that guy and you're stuck with Sam Darnold again, well, you've got to surround him with more talent up front. I think Teron Armstead is a guy that, once again, you have to point to at left tackle and say, that guy's a stud. He'll help elevate the entire core of your offensive line. Meanwhile, I look at defense, Greg, and I say to myself, Hassan Reddick's got to stay, right? You have Brian Burns on one side, you have Reddick on the other. That's a pretty good place to go. I think if I'm Carolina, I find a way to keep Reddick on the roster.
Yeah, he was worth the money. He ended up being a great value. I'm not worried about their defense, though. Phil Snow did a great job. They have talent over there. I'm worried about the offense. I've kind of lost my confidence. I was big on the Matt Rule era. I liked what he did, but they've made brutal decisions at quarterback back-to-back years. It's not just that they got Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold. It's that they guaranteed them a second year when they absolutely didn't have to. So this is a team that's demonstrated they won't make good decisions at quarterback, and it's a coaching staff, and that's where I think, Mike, your talk about the offensive line really rings true, that hasn't demonstrated they can coach up offensive line. They said this offseason's all going to be about fixing their offensive line. But, what about last offseason? It was basically the same offensive line. It's been one of the worst groups in the league since Rule was there. And when I look at offensive line, it's not just about talent. It's going to be about coaching. Look at what the Rams did with their interior. It's a lot of undrafted free agents, late-round picks. And right now, Carolina has not shown that they can protect quarterbacks or evaluate quarterbacks. So I'm in the show-me stage right now with my relationship with the Panthers, and that's what's really important.
Yeah, Ben McAdoo, now the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, trying to maximize what they can there on the offensive side of the football. Mike, Greg, thank you very much. A player who loves to feast on Carolina Panthers quarterbacks is Cam Jordan. He's a leader both on and off the field, and in his effort to inspire positive change throughout the country, he's committed himself to improving the relationships between police and communities of color. This work is something Cam has in common with the Center for Policing Equity, an organization the NFL has provided a grant for that is committed to collecting data that helps law enforcement agencies identify ways to improve their relationships with the communities they serve.
When I think about what more can we do, what more can I do for this community,